live? Yeah. For those just joining, we're going to do a Qigong flow. We haven't done one for a while. So we've got live on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Come up to a standing position. We'll do a little bit of mobilization first. Remember, the idea of the mobilization is for you to use your body and your breath to get the energy flowing. And then when we move into the flow, the energy that you've created moves you. That's the idea. So think of it that way around. Coming up to standing, making sure you've got space in front and behind you, so you're not knocking into anything at all. So space side to side there, space front and back. You just zoom my camera out a little bit. Taking your feet shoulder width apart. Graham's already going there. Feet shoulder width apart, nice and soft through the knees and the ankles and the hips. Remember, we're moving from the hips and the waist, and we're letting that spine stay long and tall, strong but flexible, and allowing your elbows to bend. So you're tapping across the belly, tapping across the back. I'm just going to whiz round so you can see how my arm is just rotating, tapping back of the hand onto that lower back. Knocking on the door of life. Breathing easy in and out through the nose. Settling into your own comfortable rhythm. The arm that swings across the front of the body now, just keep creating a light fist, and you're just bringing it just to tap, just on the pec muscles on the chest. Think of the tip of the lungs, that lung point, the lung meridian. Still driving from the hips and the waist. Let's go into the shoulder now. So the arm that swings across the front, you're going to create like a cup with a hand, and that's going to go nice and powerful into the shoulder there, big shoulder muscles. You have to drive that little bit more through the hips and the waist and the ground. Loads of good spine rotation. Goes without saying, if anything hurts, if you have any pain, you stop. It's not about forcing. It's no pain. We don't want strain. And you'll know if you're overloading your musculoskeletal system or your nervous system, because the breath will change. You'll either hold the breath, oh, that hurts, or you'll start to breathe a little bit harder and faster. So it doesn't matter if you're breathing a little bit faster, but still keep it calm and relaxed. Back down to chest. And then back down to belly and back. And then slowing it down into water waves. It's nice to see here, I'm just having a quick look on Zoom. It's nice to see we've got 3 of you coming to Porto. We've got Beverly and Graham. So we've got 2 Grahams coming to Porto. Slowing it down into water waves. Soft, 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 soft. Taking a moment just to stand, and you can bring your feet a little bit closer together if you want. Hip width, open up the shoulders if you want. Just stand tall, see how that feels. Maybe there's always that first thing in the morning, you wake up, you can feel a little bit maybe stiffness in the joints, just loosening the joints, mobilizing the joints, getting the blood flowing, getting the energy flowing, getting that lymphatic drainage. Stepping back out. We'll do a bit of spinal cord breathing. So remember, we're tilting the pelvis forwards and backwards, and at the same time, expanding the chest, opening the throat. So here we're spilling out the front of the pelvis. Have to have that little bit of bend in the knees, and then we tuck the pelvis underneath, spill out the back. This is a really good morning stretch. Breathing in, breathing out. And if you feel you want to do a couple of bigger breaths, that's fine. Just 1 or 2 of those. We don't want to breathe too hard. Just think of it as a bit of a cleansing and clearing. But you can also still breathe very light and soft and easy in and out through the nose with this as well. Remember that idea of breathing out through the mouth or taking that fuller breath, thinking of almost like a sigh, is a natural breath. But we don't want to force that. We don't want to be overdoing that, because remember, if we breathe more air than we need, it can reduce that oxygen delivery to the cells. And I think often we think, oh, I need to breathe hard to get more oxygen in. Actually, there's 2 stages to that inspiration, or the breathing in is you breathe into the lungs, then the oxygen goes into the blood, and then the oxygen gets delivered to the cells. And we don't just want to be over breathing, otherwise that oxygen isn't as efficiently delivered from the blood to the cells. But 1 or 2 big breaths, that feels good, big stretch, let go, is absolutely fine. Let's take 3 more in your own time. Spinal cord breathing. Pelvis, spine ripples. Chest opens. And then again, just take a rest, standing. How does that feel? Having a little move around, having a little shake, opening up the shoulders, tall through the spine. So we've done rotation, we've done flexion and extension. Let's do a bit of that lateral flexion. So feet shoulder width apart again. Dog wags the tail, shifting the hips side to side. Remember to start off just shifting the hip to pelvis. So the pelvis here is parallel to the ground. You'll notice I'm softening to that into that knee a little bit, softening into this knee a little bit. So it's very easy to do this. So we're not doing that. Pelvis parallel to the ground. At the minute, the spine is balanced on top of the pelvis. And then we're going to free that spine side to side. And again, just letting that head go without forcing. So think of that reaction of the spine rippling from the movement. Breathing is just easy in and out through the nose. And then slowing it down, slowing it down, slowing it down, slowing it down. And again, just taking a moment. I think this lateral flexion of the spine, particularly things like this dog wags the tail movement, are so underestimated in movement, and it's something that I think we forget about because we think about rotation and flexion extension, and we maybe do this sort of like lateral flexion like this, but actually just this flow of movement through the spine. For Porto, where I'm working on another module that we're putting in there, where we're looking at that spiral movement. And I was practicing some stuff yesterday and just very gently stepping and almost like just lifting the back of the skull there without doing big movements. And it's like, oh, that makes a big difference. So the subtlety of this side to side movement of how that neck and the head rotates and flexes and extends is so important in that whole take a step. And one of the things with breathing, and when we talk about efficient breathing when we are moving, if we're not moving as efficiently as we could be, guess what? You're going to have to breathe harder. So a lot of people who say, I can't nasal breathe when I'm walking or I'm running, often, I'm not saying all the time, it is because we want to make our movement a little bit more efficient. Now, I'm not saying I'm the most efficient mover in the world or anything like that, but it's just this stuff is so fascinating to me. I'd like to do a little bit, before we go into a flow, well, we're going to do a flow, but before we go into the Qigong flows, where the idea of our energy we've created is guiding the movement, I just want to do a full body flow. Now, with the full body flow, again, you go to what is comfortable with you. But what we're doing is we're stretching out the front line. So take your feet shoulder width apart. And by the front line, I mean everything coming from the toes up to the hips, through the chest, all of that fascia, all of the ligaments and the tendons who bring the hips forwards. Then we are hinging forwards from the hips, stretching out that back line, and again, not forcing, keep breathing. I'm just going to go a little bit wider. You might want to go a little bit wider on your stance. Stretching out the back line as long as you can there, as in length rather than waiting there. And then you're just going to soften the knees. You're going to roll down and then roll back up. Now, again, please do this at your own comfortable pace, your own comfortable effort level. If there's any strain, I'm trying to stretch, you're going too hard, you're pushing too much. So lengthen out the front line. Feel a nice stretch through the hamstrings, then soften the knees. And roll up. And this is not about trying to be as flexible as possible. In fact, sometimes being too flexible, is not good. So if you're hypermobile, you have to control this even more. So lengthen the back line and lengthen out the front line. Have that in mind as you're doing that. That whole fascia from the toes all the way through the front of the body, neck and throat, and then all the way through the back of the body as well. And this morning I'm really feeling a little bit more tightness in the hips and the hamstrings, the back line. And again, that may vary day to day, but just doing stuff slowly and mindfully, you can pick up on those little points. You can do some of these movements that you feel, oh yeah, I could do it a little bit longer of that one. It's not necessarily about counting reps or just getting your exercise done. Enjoy what you're doing. Let's do one more. Oh, I need a lot more of those this morning. Have a little bit of a shake out. And actually, let's have a good shake. So remember, a couple of ways you can shake. You can either do the washing machine, which is alternate heels into the ground, and just do that really quickly. So you feel that vibration coming all the way up the body. Or if you want to do a little bit more, you can just come up onto the ball of the foot and just drop the heels into the ground very quickly again. You can start to shake the wrists just so we get that vibration going through the whole of the body, really freeing up the shoulders as well. You can really hear it in my voice, which is good. It means everything's moving, everything's vibrating. And again, with this, you can do that cleansing and clearing if you feel. A bigger breath in, top up, and let go. Good old shake. And then slowing it down. Step out, open up the arms, feel all the lovely tingling sensations. The osteopath I'm going to here in Porto, excellent, so good. Suggested one of those little mini trampolines. So I might have I don't know if anybody's got a mini trampoline. Just to invest in that again, just to get that bouncing. Said it's really good for lymphatic flow, but again, we're doing that anyway with this movement as well. I'll never forget also when we were doing the Run with Ease course, Yvonne, I remember Yvonne saying, well, every time you run, every time you land and hit the ground, it's almost like shaking because you're getting that, if you're getting that vibration through the body. Okay, let's go into Qigong flow. So think about what we've just done there as you creating that energy, you waking your body up, you getting that blood flowing, you creating that energy. Now, just have in mind, just visualize the energy that you've created is moving the body. So you're breathing in and you're breathing out. And if you've not done this flow before, just follow the best you can, don't overthink it. We've got palms facing the chest here. Then it's imagining you're lifting a very heavy object, i.e. the earth above your head, and then you're lowering carefully that heavy object. So you're just reversing that movement. Breathing in. Breathing out. Buddha holds up the earth, is what is called in Qigong. Remember, flow is a continuous movement, so there's no start and stop to the breath or to the movement. And you're following your breath, settling into your rhythm. Just following two more. And then just taking a moment, just holding the hands just in front of the belly. Just softening, relaxing into the shoulders, softening into the elbows, softening into the fingers. Next movement is the fountain. So you're bringing the back of your hands together. There's a very subtle tilt forwards, and you bring the arms up the center lines. Really nice thinking about opening the chest. When your elbows get to about shoulder height, it's like the fountain, water coming out from the fountain. Drawing energy from the ground up the body, and then cleansing and clearing. Breathing in and then breathing out. Just soft, light, effortless breathing in and out through the nose. Again, finding your rhythm, you're following your breath. 2 more. And this time just taking a standing posture, just same sort of position with the hands, but you are just behind you. So again, this is quite nice. It opens up the shoulders, the chest a little bit. Watch that you're not forcing that chest forward. So keeping strong through the spine, making sure these front ribs don't force out. So just keeping these ribs into the body, ram this in the elbows. Where do you need to be strong? Where can we soften? Keeping that breath soft. If you feel a little bit natural swaying, that's great. It's not about standing rigid. It's about strength combined with that softness. Can you soften into the face a little bit? Can you soften into the shoulders a little bit more? And then bringing your arms to the side, pulling down the sky, slightly different to how we usually do it. I want you to actually pull up the energy from the ground first. So imagine you've got like these superpowers where you're drawing all that energy from the ground. When we get to shoulder height, you rotate your shoulders, you rotate your elbows, you rotate your palms upwards, and then we gather all that energy from above. And bring it all into our body, into our center, into our energy center. And then repeat that, draw energy from the ground. It's like Superman. Rotate shoulders. Make sure you rotate the shoulders first, the elbows. Breathing in, breathing out. Let's do one more of those. And then interlocking your thumbs, storing all that energy in your lower dantian, in your energy center. Powerhouse, bringing the feet together, standing tall through the spine, final standing posture. Let those elbows settle into the body, closing your eyes and enjoying a little bit of the bamboo in the wind. Here, just allowing the body, finding its natural balance. Again, I could stand here for the next 15 minutes, but we don't have time to do that because it's 8:30. So taking a full breath in, stepping out, giving yourself that little bit of a brush down. I think one of the things is, yeah, it's always great to have people guiding you through movement, and we all need that little bit of guidance and that sort of like confidence in what we're doing is good. But again, just take your time just to do stuff that feels good for you. And the Qigong flow, if one movement feels you need to do a little bit more of that, just stay with that movement. It's not about counting reps and having to get your exercise done before you do bump. Enjoy Enjoy the experience and enjoy the process of the movements you do. And if you don't have long to do it, just do a few of those movements as well. Excellent. That was good. I feel good. I'm going to go out for a little run now. Enjoy the rest of your day. As always, if you have any questions or anything you want to focus on our Wednesday session, which is going to be a little bit more focused on strength this week, then please do get back to me. But as always, thanks for your support, and I will see you on Wednesday. Take care. Bye-bye.